Well, I'm back in the Model 3. Alright, so there's the nose of the car. Figured I'd get some close up front footage for you guys here. Hey guys, so I have my baby back. Yay! Oh my gosh, I have missed this car tremendously. So, alright, how did it go? Well, first off, the body shop was awesome to deal with. I've dealt with them before, and so that was great. For those of you that are unaware of what's going on, first off, let me say, if you're new to the channel, welcome. On this channel, primarily I discuss my Tesla Model 3, but also electric propulsion projects, electric bikes, small go-karts, electric skateboards, that kind of thing that I fabricate in my shop. But the bulk of my videos are on the Tesla Model 3 that I own. And recently, within the last, whatever it was, couple of months, I have had two minor fender benders, and thankfully neither of which was my fault, so I'm not out of pocket anything. But two separate insurance companies were involved, one handling the nose of the car, one handling the rear of the car. The nose, the car was parked and backed into. The rear of the car, I was driving and someone crossed over from one lane into my lane, hit the rear of the car. So two different accidents, two different insurance companies within 10 days of each other. So the body shop dealt with the nose and the tail both at the same time, but just billed out to each insurance company separately. And I can tell you that one insurance company has been great to deal with, the other one has not been. Both insurance companies are A-rated companies. I don't want to mention who they are until everything has gone through channels, because I'm still pursuing diminished value through both insurance companies. I don't know, a couple $1,000, whatever it is, but the car has gone down in value now that there is accident against its record, or potentially two. I don't know how that's going to work, being that it was in for one shot but two incidents. Anyway, so until both claims are closed out, I don't want to mention the names of the insurance companies. But so the overall experience was very, very good. And as far as dealing with the body shop, part of that's because I know the shop, and part of it is because it's a shop I've dealt with in the past. It's right in Island Lake, Illinois. It's kind of near where I live. So one cool thing about this is they are now have applied to Tesla to become a Tesla certified service center. So that'd be kind of cool. And so sorry for the clicking. That's my work clipboard there. Try and put something on it. There we go. So yeah, the body shop was great. It took 10 days. It should have only taken about 5 days, but that's because one of the two insurance companies were pretty drastically dragging their heels on this, and infuriating to say the least. But the other insurance company's been great. In fact, the other insurance company called me, company dealing with the rear of the car, stating that they've authorized a couple add-on things the body shop added on, as well as that they've already submitted a ticket to their diminished value department, who will be contacting me either this afternoon or tomorrow. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that went. So what was it like to live without my Model 3 for 10 days? A couple things I learned. First off, I was using our Ford Fusion. We have a 2014 Ford Fusion all-wheel drive, great car. All-wheel drive has been nice because we've had some heavy snow, so that was good. Now, did I miss my car? Oh yeah. What did I notice? Well, in 10 days, I put on probably 1,000 miles, 1,100 miles on the Ford, and moving from that car back to my Model 3 has been monumental. Now, I mentioned in one other video that we had done a road trip and I went from that car to this car after the road trip, but that was different. we were all laden in the car. We were just going on the expressway. I wasn't climbing in and out of it and, stop and go, and relying on it daily. It was just a simple weekend trip, on the road a lot to get there, on the road to get back, but living with it day to day. I'll give you the negative, I'll give you the positive of living with the Ford. That positive is, when weather is ultra cold like it is right now in Northern Illinois, range anxiety does exist for me because I drive so much. So it's been nice not even considering how much charge I have. So I got to be real straight with you guys about that it's not all peaches and cream when you drive an EV, even a long-range EV. Range anxiety does exist, but it only really exists when you drive a lot and you're in cold weather for reduced range. So that's something to bear in mind. Now, so that's the positive of living with the Ford. But other than that, oh my gosh, that car is such a dinosaur. Getting back in this thing, I can't believe how punchy it is. The steering is so precise. The car is so well planted. I mean, everything about it is just... I feel like I've stepped from the Stone Age with the Ford to the Space Age with the Tesla. Absolutely incredible, the difference. And so I can highly recommend that for those of you that haven't driven a Tesla, even a Model 3, which is, obviously the base model Tesla that you can get, you got to drive one. Oh my gosh, it's so huge. I feel like I just bought this car again. And it's just enormous, and can't say enough about it. And some of the details, though, being able to preheat this car in the morning from the app, that's been amazing. I can remote start the Ford, but it doesn't turn on the heat, it just starts the engine. So that's been that's a nice part of the Tesla that I missed with the Ford. The GPS in this thing is just mind-boggling. It's phenomenal compared to the Ford. It just layer upon layer upon layer of good experiences that I've had with this car versus using the Ford. Now, part of that, I must admit, is I use this car for work, so I have certain, I don't want to say equipment, but I've got a couple of plastic bins with some stuff in it and some different things that I use for work. And with the Ford, those things don't really fit properly in the car. I was never going to be using them long term. So, it's just one of those things where, whatever, I knew it was a temporary car. So I didn't set it up or lay it out for the specific use that the car would receive. And so if I were using it full time, then yeah, I would have set it up. Returning some library books here. I would have set that car up to specifically work properly for my day-to-day use. So it would have been better had I had that car long term. But still, the convenience of this car, the trunk is huge with that extra deep well that's in there. Having the trunk and the frunk, what I had to do with our Fusion, now anyone that has a Ford Fusion can attest to this, it has a huge trunk. It really, really does. However, the trunk in this thing is bigger when you consider that well that drops down. The actual interior volume of the trunk is larger. Now I don't know the exact cubic feet, but I've traveled in this car and I've traveled in the Fusion, and I can fit more stuff in the trunk. We always travel with exactly the same suitcases, the same number of people, and there's definitely more room in this trunk. So that and the frunk. So using the Fusion, everything in the trunk here and the frunk, I had to fill the trunk of the Fusion and the back seat to get the same capacity. Now, it wasn't filled to the ceiling, but still, the trunk was overflowed, so I had to use the back seat for some of my work stuff. And with this car, I have nothing in the back seat. It's clear, it's empty. I have my mileage log, my book, laid on the back seat, but there's no work equipment back there. So, this car has a lot of space. vision and clarity. The sill height is lower, the dash is lower. Even though I have the seat set all the way down on this thing, I still sit a little bit higher. The glass roof is nice, so overall visibility in this car is better. The acceleration, our Fusion, it's got the larger engine, it's turbocharged, it's a small turbo, so it's low-end torque. It's a torquey car, nothing like this though. And the smoothness, the quiet, the cornering, this thing is more precise. Now part of that is my aftermarket 20-inch wheels and tires, and the 1-inch lowering does make this car steer more precise. So that difference is exaggerated a little bit because of the modifications. But the look of this car, right now I'm going past a couple gentlemen on the side of the road. Everyone looks at this car. When I drive around in the Fusion, nobody looks at it. And so that's kind of nice. I don't know. It's hard to articulate the sense that you get, and part of that might be a placebo effect, but I've gotten used to this car. Since I've owned it, I've got 28,549 miles on it, so I'll be doing a 30,000 mile update on it soon. But it's all good. I'm glad to have the car back. So as I hear more from both insurance companies about diminished value, I'll let you guys know how that goes. The body shop told me that the car is built very, very well. They said that it was extremely easy to work on. They said that taking covers and panels and trim pieces off is just super simple. They echoed the sentiment that a couple other people have made, that this car is a bit like a Lego set. It's just very logical in the way it's assembled. But then they said once you get under the skin, they're like, whoa, it's like working on the space shuttle. They said it was just, the technology under the skin of this car is otherworldly, but working on it from a body shop standpoint was super simple. They said it was just really, really easy. So that was great. Anyway, so yep, the car is back. You guys can expect some new videos. The weather's supposed to be below 0 tomorrow, so I'll be able to report on ultra cold weather operation of the car, how that goes. So anyway, all of that yammering, and but excited to have the car back. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. And for those of you that are looking to buy a new Tesla, feel free to use my referral code. There'll be a link in the description below. And for those of you overseas, now that I have my car back, I'd like to do especially some winter testing and some different things that you guys have suggested that you would like for me to test out. I'll also start adding kilometers and millimeters and that to my measurements for future videos, so that those overseas can better relate to what I'm saying. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye now.